Hello, everyone. My name is Anjali Doria. I am a student at Unity Environmental University, but I live in Manchester, Tennessee. And I am excited to share with you all today a little bit about my Project Green journey this year and how it has inspired my climate action project. So I wanted to start by sharing a part of my video from my final submission because I feel like it really encapsulates my journey this year and how it's impacted me.
30 days ago, I set off on a sustainability journey. A journey to prove to myself that I could change my habits to be less harmful to my planet. Right from the start, I learned about my footprint on this earth and started to find small changes I could make to improve. I now avoid single-use plastic. I carpool with my friends and family. I shop organic and I read my product labels. I've even started looking up the water requirements for my produce. But somewhere along the way to my sustainable living goal, this project became about something more than me. I started having conversations with my friends and family. What started out as a few quick questions turned into hour-and-a-half conversations about soil or the fashion industry. I found myself reaching out to community leaders and asking for their thoughts on food insecurity and ways different groups could work together in our city. I was reaching out to politicians and asking them to reconsider their stance on clean energy. And through this, I realized that I had the power to make a really big difference in my community. The different environmental issues started to connect in my head, and I could see how they were all impacting my small town. So I came up with a plan to address some of the issues that matter most to me, like food insecurity and soil health.
So the Project Green Challenge has helped me to see how many of the issues within my community are interconnected, and that is what inspired my climate action project. The number one issue that resonated with me throughout the Project Green Challenge and still continues to resonate with me is food insecurity, and it's a really big problem in my city. 1 in 6 children struggle with food insecurity in Middle Tennessee. 1 in 6 residents in my county and in my city also struggle with food insecurity, and on top of just not being able to afford food and access it, we also struggle with having access to fresh, local, organic food as well. So who is addressing the issue in my community already? We actually have quite a few organizations that are already trying to address this situation. So we have some like Community Table, the Storehouse, that help offer free food to people that can't afford it, and others like the Farmers Market and Valley View that offer fresh local options. But even with all of these organizations, we still have a huge food insecurity problem, which is why for my climate action project, I am proposing the creation of a community food forest. So what is a food forest? A food forest is an agricultural system that is meant to mimic the 7 layers of a forest. And within that, it helps to encourage biodiversity to come back and helps to promote the soil as well as provide food. So by creating a food forest, we're going to be able to provide our residents with healthier food. We're going to be able to encourage community involvement around a really cool topic and to educate the public about regenerative agriculture. So my vision for this project is to turn this field up in the top into a 7-layer food forest. It's located at Unity Medical Center, which is our local hospital in the city, which I think is the perfect place for a food forest for several reasons. The first being that there's a lot of available land right next to it. The second being that it's located near the heart of the city, which makes it accessible and visible to the public. And then finally, because food is our first form of medicine, and so I think it aligns directly with the hospital's vision of creating a healthier community. And my hope is that at first we'll be able to offer free food to the residents, and then eventually one day that this project will expand so that the cafeteria food in the hospital and all of the food in the hospital will be able to be fresh, local, organically grown in their backyard. So I have 4 major goals for the next few months to help ensure project success. The first is to research and plan, and I'm going to be measuring success based on the number of people that we can feed, the quality of soil and how it's improving, and also how many people can we get involved, because I think that's really important. And then I'm going to be developing a team, collecting resources, and finally, preparing and planting. So where am I in this process? I have received permission from the landowning organization of the hospital to use the field under the understanding that it will be used to promote, benefit our community or the hospital. I've also found this really cool program that helps me plan based on my grow zone when I need to plant things, when I need to prepare beds, harvesting, and things like that. I've also created a list of stakeholders, so the ones in red are organizations that I've already reached out to, and the ones in green are ones that I think would double as really good educational resources, and then the ones in white are additional potential partnerships. So the great thing about this project is that it has the opportunity to affect a lot of different elements of environmental sustainability like biodiversity, soil health, and a closer community centered around environmental change and, of course, food insecurity. And the great thing about the Project Green Challenge is that it has empowered students like me to really make a difference in their community, which is why I am confident that I will be able to do this food forest. And this was my 5th time participating in the Project Green Challenge over the last 9 years, and so my path has certainly not been a straight line, but it's always brought me back to the same spot of wanting to create environmental change. So I'm very grateful to be here. I'm grateful to meet all of you, and thank you all.